Your calmness feels like a wildfire to people who feed on chaos. They mistake your silence for absence, but really it's presence, undeniable and unshakable. They think peace is soft until it holds firm where tempers break. You walk away and it rattles them more than any argument ever could, because nothing is louder than someone who no longer needs to explain. You don't match their chaos. You expose it by refusing to bask in it. And that choice, it strips them of their illusion of control. Your stillness is not emptiness. It's a boundary they can't breach. Your ability to detach, to walk away without flinching, isn't silence, it's power. And that power, it shakes their entire illusion. Stay with me, because by the end of this, you'll understand why your peace has become their obsession, and why they keep trying and failing to decode it. The first move they make is subtle, passive-aggressive remarks. Little jabs like, "must be nice not to care." But these aren't harmless comments. They're bait. They're tests. They want to pull you back into their frequency because your detachment exposes the noise they're drowning in. And when you don't bite, they panic. That's when they shift to gossip. They twist your peace into arrogance, your boundaries into cruelty, because they can't stand how unbothered you are. But every story they spin says more about their own fragility than it ever will about you. They test you, with shade disguised as concern, with jabs wrapped in jokes. They hope you'll snap, that you'll slip back into the version they could manage. But you've already seen what's behind their curtain, and it doesn't move you. Their gossip sounds like confession. Their exclusion feels like relief. They thought silence would break you, but it built you instead. Now every locked door is a spotlight on their fear, and when they can't provoke a storm in you, they call you cold. But they've confused numbness with discipline and peace with permission. When whispers don't work, they try exclusion. The invites fade, conversations shift when you walk in. Suddenly, you're on the outside looking in. But don't get it twisted, this isn't random. It's strategy. They're hoping isolation will sting enough to break your resolve. Yet what they don't realize is this: exclusion doesn't weaken the real ones, it forges them. Every locked door only proves what they've known all along, that you can't be contained. And when none of that works, they come with chaos, manufactured drama, sudden arguments out of thin air. They'll try to drag you into battles you never agreed to fight. Why? Because if they can break your calm, they can regain control. But here's what kills them. You don't flinch. You don't give them the reaction they crave. Their traps collapse under the weight of their own desperation. And the more they try, the clearer it becomes to everyone watching. Your peace isn't weakness, it's authority. The labels are next. Cold, arrogant, heartless. They need those words because it's the only way to disguise the truth. That your independence scares them. That your refusal to be controlled exposes their lack of control. Every insult they throw is projection. What they call coldness is really their envy of your clarity. What they call arrogance is their discomfort with the fact that you don't need their validation. Every accusation proves one thing: they can't touch you. History shows us this pattern. Joan of Arc stood unshaken in the face of armies and ridicule, not because she was obnoxious, but because she was unwavering. Her detachment from fear unnerved entire empires. That's why they targeted her. And like her, your calm isn't passive, it's disruptive. It forces others to face truths they've buried. It makes the power games they play crumble in their own hands. That's why your presence feels dangerous. Because you've mastered the one weapon they can't steal: detachment. But here's the deeper truth. Detachment isn't just protection, it's strategy. In war, the enemy always expects reaction. They thrive on prediction. When you refuse to react, you move like a ghost. Unreadable, untouchable. They swing wild at shadows while you stand in stillness. Your calm is not the absence of power, it's the highest form of it. Because when everyone else is busy scrambling, you're still moving with precision. And this is what really eats at them. Your peace is generative. It doesn't just shield you, it builds you. While they burn the energy chasing validation, you're creating. While they drown in chaos, you're sharpening. Your peace gives you clarity. It gives you foresight. It gives you leverage. And the ones who tried to bait you are left asking the same haunting question. How did they stay untouched while we burned ourselves out trying to break them? You learned chaos is cheap, but clarity costs everything. You paid with solitude, with rumors, with being misunderstood. But now, you move with the kind of grace that doesn't flinch. Your detachment isn't escape, it's sovereignty. They try to read you like a page, but you've become a mirror. And mirrors don't lie. They just reflect what's already there. They can't touch you because you've stepped outside their story. And the ones who once tried to break you, now whisper your name with reverence. Listen, your detachment is not indifference, it's alignment. It's the refusal to trade your throne for a seat at someone else's circus. They can spread rumors, they can provoke, they can exclude, but the fact remains they couldn't crack your code. And now, that mystery, that untouchability, it terrifies them. Because deep down, they know the truth. Peace is power, and once you've mastered it, no one can take it from you. Peace